And now we're at the first State of the Union. Kellyanne, welcome to the set.
Good morning. Welcome to Washington.
I feel like I saw you a couple hours ago on Hannity.
I was here.
So what's the sense? The president stayed in D.C. just working on the speech.
Yes, he
evidently ran through the entire thing already.
Absolutely. And as the president is wont to do, he's been marking it up. It's always his voice, his choice in all of these addresses. And I think people will be very uplifted tonight. It's a very positive speech. And I really want to focus on the guests. I know you just had Ms. Rodriguez, and God bless her. She's a hero to us. And the First Lady has put together a wonderful group of guests tonight, and many of them will be mentioned as part of the president's address. You've got the Hulett family. He's in Albuquerque, New Mexico, in law enforcement. They went and adopted the baby of two opioid addicts. Mm-hmm. You have Ms. Rodriguez and other family members who have buried their children at the hands of the MS-13 gangs. But it's also a very uplifting night because you'll have people there who benefit directly from tax cuts, and they're saying that their businesses will be thriving.
You mean Armageddon?
Expanding. Well, I mean, that lady needs to realize it's real dough. It's not crumbs, and it's real dough. I think there were up to about 275 companies in this country that have acted directly owing to the president's tax cut. And they've said because of the tax cut, they're reinvesting, they're repatriating wealth, they're reinvesting. So it's a very exciting night.
Yeah, one of the guests, he said that he has taken his $1,000 bonus and he's putting it aside for his daughter's education.
Yes.
You know, we're all raising kids, and that's our hope, to give our kids a better life than we had and to put food on the table and send them to college if you can. And the president's helping with tax reform.
Here, Ainsley, I never understand. I was raised by a single mom. She did a great job, and she had a lot of support from her family. I was raised in a house of all women. And $1,000 would have made a big difference.
I know.
You know, and for people to say back then, too, I mean, for people to say it doesn't matter, it doesn't amount to much, I think Democrats made a huge mistake on all voting against this tax cut because their constituents are already benefiting and these businesses are already expanding. This is why the president said in Davos, and he'll carry that theme in tonight, which is we're open for business. He'll also touch on immigration, on infrastructure, on national security. We simply are more prosperous, more safe, more accountable, and transparent because of Donald Trump. Can you believe my kids had a 2-hour delay today?
Why?
I guess as long as there are weathermen, pollsters will always have a job.
We're
turning our kids into snowflake without a single snowflake.
No, I know. They salted the streets with nothing on it when we came in this morning.
Okay, then.
You know, Kelly, don't have to tell you, this is a very divided Congress, a very divided town as well. The accomplishments the president has gotten done so far, the Affordable Care Act, rescission, and taxes, party line. Now, going forward, you need cooperation. You got to reach across the aisle. When it comes to infrastructure, of course, the Democrats want all those jobs and all that money to go to their folks. But also, you've got immigration. And, you know, Steve King was just in your seat a moment ago. He thinks that the president's plan is amnesty, and there's a Republican who right now is not going to vote for it.
Well, this president has a lot of points to his plan. He has said the wall is being built. He's asked for $25 billion for a physical wall, but also for technological enhancement. He gets that from talking to the people at the border. We should respect what they say that they need. His plan also calls for merit-based immigration and to chain migration and to the visa lottery system. But you're right, Steve, that that we want bipartisan support. The president has said that from the beginning, though. He wanted bipartisan support for the tax cuts, knowing that this was going to lift all boats, and that you don't look at it you don't look at it red and blue. You look at it as big job creators in this country. That's right. But in infrastructure, I can't think of a more nonpartisan issue looking for bipartisan solutions. Infrastructure, when you look at just our air traffic control system alone, it was built for a time when we had roughly 100,000 annual passengers in this country. We have close to 1 billion. The weights on the tarmac, the safety enhancements, the security enhancements, I mean, how is that a partisan issue? So we hope that the Democrats will see that this benefits their constituents. Also, I think the Democrats in the space of one short month voted against the tax cuts, voted to shut down the government. Talk about bipartisan support. Look at how many Democrats voted a week ago to reopen the government. They got the message
got 80.
that they owned that.
And I sense that there might be coming together. So, yes, I understand the principals sat down with the president's 4 pillars and with John Kelly there, and they said, guys, let's get started. No progress was made. The tone was fine. Is the president going to urge Republicans to give a little? And in a way he hasn't yet?
I think the Republicans are already giving a little by coming together for the DACA recipients. This is nothing that people would have expected, perhaps. And I think the Democrats are still wondering how they're going to find a new blunt instrument for the midterms, and they shouldn't look at it that way. I heard that they're going to have some of the dreamers in the chamber tonight. That's wonderful. I hope that they'll thank the president for actually trying to find a resolution to this, because President Obama didn't, that's for sure. I mean, look at this president. He keeps keeping the promise of the past presidents. He keeps doing things that nobody can get done. Massive historic tax cuts, moving the American embassy and recognizing as its capital Jerusalem in Israel. 4 or 5 presidents promised that. Only one delivered on the promise. And you're looking at all the regulatory reductions. Again, historic, meaning other presidents failed to do that. So this is a president who's going to take that same cooperation negotiation as a conservative, however, though, Brian, that's what's important. It's his conservative agenda that prevailed, and the other person whose name I never say on TV anymore, that agenda failed. That means that he's looking for a cooperation negotiation. But the question of whether this will be bipartisan is not a question for the Republicans. It's a question for the Democrats.
A lot of
They get to come to the table with anything except wearing black tonight, saying, me too, I guess, because of Harvey Weinstein and Bill Clinton and others.
One who's not been supportive of the president, Nancy Pelosi, she said tax reform, it's Armageddon. Then tax reform happens. People get bonuses. She says, oh, they're just crumbs, those $1,000 checks. And yesterday she was at the same event that you were.
Yes.
And this is what she's had to say about tax reform.
What keeps Nancy Pelosi up at night?
Oh, eating too much chocolate during the day. Actually, the tax bill is really the dark cloud that hangs over the Capitol. Trillions of dollars of impact on our economy with no hearings, no expert advice as to what the impact will be on our future.
So I just sent her.
Dark cloud?
I actually do.
I just sent her another shipment of vitamins. I want her to be the leader of the Democratic Party and not the speaker for as long as she can. It was really amazing. And even in that audience, which is probably a more democratically disposed audience yesterday, that fell flat. People were not applauding her because they know that's simply not true. They have friends and colleagues and family members who work at Walmart, who work for Wells Fargo, who work at Home Depot, who are seeing just
there's evidence
billions of dollars in investment in their states. Also, she's going to be the biggest feature, I think, in ads coming this fall too, because Republicans will say, look at her. And I think, look, the Democrats are going to run on divided government, checks and balances. It's not going to work because unified government got you your tax cut.
Exit question, one-word answer. Is the president going to release the memo today?
Well, the president...
Just one word.
Probably not. Is that
okay? That's true. Close enough.
We're going to review it today. How's that?
All right.
He'll be reviewing it today.
All right.
Will any of the memo be in the speech tonight?
It is not in there. But transparency and accountability are. We respect the process. We can't comment on the contents of the memo at the moment, but we respect transparency and accountability, and we're sure all those who've been talking about Russia for a year do too.
Okay.
Hi, Kellyanne.
Thank you.